You've probably heard this term zero trust floating around everywhere, right? But what does it really mean? I promise, it's not just another tech buzzword. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about cybersecurity. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain, demystify the whole thing, and show you exactly why it's so important. Here's the plan. First, we'll talk about why the old security playbook just doesn't work anymore. Then, we'll dive deep into the assume breach philosophy, the core of zero trust. We'll walk through how it creates a defense, layer by layer, starting with people and all the way down to the data itself. And finally, we'll look at how you can actually make this strategy a reality. So let's start with the big question. Why do we even need something new? Well, it's because the digital world has completely changed, but a lot of our security thinking, well, it got left behind. This right here is the heart of the problem. Think about it. Your team isn't just in one office anymore. They're at home, they're in coffee shops, they're on their phones. And your data? It's not locked away in some server room. Nope, it's in the cloud, on laptops, on mobile devices. That old idea of a secure perimeter, like a wall around your company, it's just gone. For years, security was all about this castle and moat idea. You build a huge wall, a big firewall around all your stuff, and you just assumed that anyone and anything inside that wall was safe and trusted. But that model is totally broken now. In our new reality, once an attacker gets over that moat, they have free rein to run around the entire castle. So this new reality demands a completely new way of thinking. And that's exactly where zero trust comes in. It all starts with one powerful and kind of humbling assumption. Zero trust is built on three simple but incredibly powerful pillars. First, verify explicitly. That means you have to prove you are who you say you are every single time you ask for access to anything. Second, use least privileged access. Think of it like a hotel key card. Your key only opens your room and maybe the gym, not every single door in the hotel. You only get access to the bare minimum you need to do your job. And third, this is the real game changer. Assume breach. You operate as if the bad guys are already inside your network, because someday they just might be. Now, these aren't just abstract ideas. The zero trust model applies these three principles across 6 critical layers of your digital world. It creates this kind of overlapping web of defenses. We're going to walk through each one, starting right at the foundation, identity. Okay, so let's see how this all builds up, starting with the 2 most fundamental layers, the people trying to get in and the devices they're using to do it. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with identity. Before you grant access to a single file or a single app, you have to be absolutely certain of who or what is asking. This means no more simple passwords. We're talking strong authentication for every single access attempt, no exceptions. And you can see that connection perfectly right here. On the left, someone is logging in with a physical security key. That little device proves it's really them. And on the right, you see the system's admin center instantly verifying that physical tap against their digital identity. It's a direct, unbreakable link between the person and their access. So once you've verified the user, you have to verify their device. An endpoint is just any piece of hardware connecting to your data. A laptop, a phone, you name it. And it doesn't matter if the company owns it or if it's a personal device. If it's not secure and up to date, it's a doorway for an attacker. The amazing thing is how this is all managed today. Admins get a single command center, a dashboard like this one, to see the health and status of every single device in real time. They can tell at a glance which devices are safe and which ones aren't, all before they're allowed to connect to anything important. And here, this is that assume breach principle in action. Let's say an attacker does get onto one laptop. Modern security tools can automatically detect that threat and slam the door shut, containing it to just that one machine. It prevents the attacker from moving around the network and turning one small problem into a total disaster. Okay, so we've secured the person and we've secured their device. Next up, we have to control the pathways they use to get to the data, and that means securing the applications and the network itself. You know, this is a massive headache for so many organizations. You just can't protect what you can't see. Employees are constantly signing up for new cloud apps without getting approval. It's called shadow IT, and every single one of those apps is a potential blind spot, a potential vulnerability. So the very first step is to turn on the lights. A dashboard like this one can shine a light on all that shadow IT. It analyzes your network traffic, finds every single cloud app that people are using, and then helps you figure out which ones are risky so you can decide what to do about them.
Now for the network itself. Zero Trust relies on three key strategies. First is network segmentation. Think of it like putting blast doors in a spaceship. If one section gets breached, you can seal it off to protect the rest of the ship. Then you've got threat protection against things like DDoS attacks, which try to overwhelm your services. And finally, end-to-end encryption for all traffic, basically scrambling it so that even if someone intercepts it, they can't read it.
All right, we've secured the user, the device, the app, and the network. That brings us right to the center of it all, the crown jewels, the infrastructure that holds everything, and the data itself. Your infrastructure, all your servers and virtual machines, is often vulnerable to something really simple, human error, a wrong setting, a missed update. That's why having tools that give you a single, unified view to track the security posture of everything, whether it's in your building or in the cloud, is so critical. And really, this is what it all boils down to. Every other layer we've talked about, identity, endpoints, apps, the network, infrastructure, all of it is in service of one ultimate goal: keeping your data safe no matter where it is. This shows you exactly what that protection looks like in the real world. On the left, an administrator sets a simple rule: files labeled confidential cannot be shared outside the company. On the right, you see what happens when an employee tries to do exactly that. The policy kicks in automatically, blocks the action, and tells the user why. The rules are enforced in real time. Okay, so we've walked through all 6 layers. The big question left is, how do you actually put all of this together? How do you make zero trust a reality for you? And the most important thing to know is that this is a journey. It's not like flipping a switch. You don't have to do it all at once. The best way to start is with a phased approach. Figure out where your biggest risks are and tackle those first. You build out your protections over time. Because ultimately, zero trust is not a product you can just go out and buy. It's a strategy. It's a shift in mindset from trust but verify to something much safer and much simpler. Never trust, always verify. So the only question left is, what's your next move? Thanks for tuning in.